I'm not getting up.
We are a sorry sight at the moment.
I want my water. I need my water.
Are you recording this?
Yeah.
You're gonna use this.
Maybe at some point.
No, you're using this
Give
part.
me my water.
Welcome to Kaiju Kami. I'm Cruellica Kain. This is Kaiju Kami. And this is...
Silver Quill, baby. Oh my God, I'm not a Goomba woman.
Give me my water.
Oh, give me my neck.
Give me my water.
I feel like...
Give me my water.
Hello, everyone. As you can see,
I'm being physically assaulted.
I'm dealing with a very...
Give me my water.
Oh my God. So welcome.
Yeah, please don't hurt me anymore.
Wait, that's all I had left? Well, that's lame.
So yes, welcome to Kaiju Kami. I'm Cruellica Kain.
I'm
This is
Kaiju
Silver-
Kami, y'all.
And this is Silver Quill.
Hello.
And we are here to talk about Donbrothers episodes 24, 25, 26, 27, and 28. Dun 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 dun.
If you
Wait, that
want,
sounds more like Mortal Kombat.
I know it did. If you want to know why it's been essentially 5 weeks since we last did a review.
We had Decker and Revice.
Revice.
People were away at conventions. Then we had other people over. So we had to play catch up.
Mustard. Ketchup and mustard.
And now Silver Quill's like, oh, 5 episodes.
Hey. Not only that, I learned about Japanese background massage porn. It's not every day you learn about an entirely new porn genre and try to process that. Which I was trying to find wholesome family values, I might add.
Alright, so we had a lot of epicness. And my voice is also all icky.
I guess I'm epic fail at this point.
Alright, come back up.
Okay, that energizes.
No, I'm very comfortable here.
Well, after she crushes my neck.
Then I'll just move over here. Alright, so first...
And review is like one of your French girls.
Should I get some Old Spice in here? Look at me.
Well, I don't look as fat down here, so...
Oh, come on now.
No, I'm good. I'm actually really good, so...
Okay.
Look at me. Look at whoever's over by there. Look at me. Look away from the computer screen. Look at me.
That's a wall, and right now the wall's more interesting.
I am far better.
The paint has dried, and it's still competition for you.
So, with Donbrothers, we start the first episode with...
A guy who's all dried up.
First episode was...
The mother issues.
The
mother issue.
It was.
The first of 2 mother issues.
Oh, yeah, the one that mistook thought,
There's no mistaking it. I'm not entirely sure on this lady.
So, the mom, basically, when Taro delivers a package, he does what he normally does anytime somebody signs. We have formed a bond. The mom is like, Koichiro! So excited. At first I thought the son died or something with how...
Desperate she was?
well, yeah,
Exactly.
because there's been an episode of Sentai before where the character, where like this mother thought someone was her son because she mistook the ranger for looking like her son, and it was because he died. Or maybe it was the daughter. I forget which.
Well, either which way, Taro's in a tough spot because he can't lie. And yet, young professor has perhaps the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Let's impersonate her son and enforce her delusion to help her feel better. That is bar none, the worst thing you could do in this situation.
And because Taro cannot lie, Saru... Apparently they have epic speakers in Japan and epic microphones that can be placed in somebody's ear.
Yeah, I was jealous.
And give perfect rendition of what somebody would sound like.
Oh my god.
Have you ever seen the movie Roxanne? With Steve Martin?
Yeah.
So, that movie... So, basically, the general premise of this movie is Roxanne... Steve Martin, his character has a bigger nose, so he is not he's not overly attractive in his opinion.
Well, obviously, if your nose is like.
Anyways, so he really likes this girl, but he can't introduce himself to this girl, so he uses a body double. The guy who's like very attractive. To say all the sweet things to her. So he impersonates the picture, and Steve Martin is hiding behind a tree, saying stuff, and the guy is mimicking what Steve Martin is saying. So that's all I thought.
Really? I'm thinking of Jackie Chan in the tuxedo. At the very end, when he has everyone trying to coach him on top of this girl he likes.
I just thought of bad dubbing.
Well, there's that too. But... So, it was very bad dubbing, and apparently, we've come to learn that Taro has mommy issues because he's never had one. Saru has mommy issues, it sounds like, because everything the mom was saying when Saru was, like, talking about his haikus and things like that it seemed like a slacker's way of life. And then Kijino...
Oh, wow.
He has mommy issues.
There is a lot to unpack with that one. I mean, like, you could keep a therapist employed for years, decades, unpacking this poor soul.
And then the monster appears, which...
No. Let me just go one last.
Well, did you look if it was Kakuranger or Hurricaneger?
I didn't look there. But the last thing is now we have... Haruka. She then, because we've been talking about Miho, because Kijino's mommy issues, so she comes to pretend to be Miho, to pretend to be Taro's wife. And she inadvertently kills Taro. Again.
And she's very nonplussed about it. She's like, oh, I forgot. Be plussed, damn it. Just be a little plussed.
But then the monster appears. And the monster is like, what's my medium of life? What's my medium life?
Okay, it was Kakuranger.
Ninja.
And it was hilarious because he's taking out people. And then when he starts to go up to Haruka and Taro and about to attack them, Mom stands right in front of him. And we come to the conclusion that it's her son who's the monster of the week.
Well, we kind of figured that early.
I think we hit that a little sooner than that moment. It seemed the most... You know how when they're looking for someone in Tokyo, it's usually like just 5-block search radius and they find each other? It's kind of like that, but with family relations. The son's got to be like 2 steps out of frame. And there's a monster, so there you go. So I think we all predicted that one pretty.
But yeah, and then but I did like the design for his ninja form. That was kind of pretty cool. And then yeah, basically run of your mill episode, and the son comes back home at the end.
Well, no. We've got Taro being honest and sincere, and the mom seems to have always known, but she just wanted to indulge in the fantasy. It's a bit weird. But he asks, can I give you a back rub? And this leads me to wonder, is like a back rub from a child to a parent a very deep value in Japan society, in the culture. So I do a search. Japanese family back rubs. And the entire Google list is porn sites advertising these videos, and I'm like, do I dare click? But
No!
but I'm just left wondering. I looked for something wholesome and discovered an entire porn industry. This is the day I'm having. How's your day?
Alright, and then our next
I
episode...
played Yakuza.
You probably saw even greater fetishes than
I am almost
That's
done with my
for sure.
drive review. But then we go to the next episode, which is about Kiji getting fired from his job.
Oh yes, this was another issue.
And then
A brother from another mother issue.
he tells Taro, yeah, there's some other issues, and suddenly Taro misunderstood his mother issues, and suddenly we're playing the phone game where every time someone tells something, the message, it gets even worse than it was before.
So it's hilarious because Kijino refuses to tell Miho that he got laid off.
No, he got fired.
He got fired. Miho is thinking, well, it's coming up to our 1-year anniversary. This would be a great time to celebrate and go on a trip. And he's like, yes! And he's in his mind, he's like, crap. So he then has that conversation with Taro. I think Taro just had mother on the brain based on the last episode. And he's working hard, so he's doing his regular delivery job with his delivery job.
Food delivery.
Food delivery. And then, so that's how Haruka sees him, wondering what he's doing. He says, yeah, the mother, it seems like the mother has a pain in her neck, and it seems pretty severe. Only because Kijino said there's some other problems that are becoming like a pain in the neck. So Taro takes it literally, and Haruka is like, oh my god, I should help too. This is serious. She tells Saru, and Saru is like, what can I do to help? Nothing. That's basically what she tells him to do.
Do nothing. Press nothing. Sorry, got Red Dwarf there for a minute. But
Then he goes into these job interviews and complains that they don't want him because he has no experience.
they don't recognize talent when they see it. Actually, I gotta say, Saru is probably in his most moody, and Jimmy's rustled in these episodes.
He is. Which I like that because I like how it's like a character development for him.
Well, this whole episode is probably the biggest character development. Compare the troupe now to when the series started, and they were all very selfish and self-motivated. Now suddenly they're helping out just based on word.
I also like, though, when the girl gave him the yen and it literally started to burn his hand.
Yeah, was that established earlier?
Yes.
Yeah, he said money burns him.
I thought he was being metaphorical.
Apparently not.
And so, that's just...
And it gets even better. So, Saru sees Kijino. Kijino is now told the story of a mother who is in a severe situation, who's dying.
Bad surgery
And he's like, oh my god, I'm thinking about my own selfish life. I need to help. And I'm like, oh my god.
They are becoming more altruistic.
They are. And it's so like...
and you forgot with his udon noodles and stuff.
Oh yes, his clever disguise.
Of putting food on his face.
And, while at a ramen cart, getting a 32 out of Taro, which is a pretty good score given the critique.
Well, I like in the other episode with the mother, whenever he goes, oh, it's two, and they just shout 200.
200 points because they know him. They know him.
But I did think it was kind of fascinating to watch them like get so tired. They're getting like dark circles under their eyes and everything, to the point where they now meet up together. Ironically, they weren't together, but they all go to the restaurant.
Which happens to be the restaurant that's failing that Kiji got fired from.
And that Inuzaka just got a job at. I do not know how a felon on the run I am a believer of second chances. So felons who have committed crimes who are out of prison, I do believe have opportunities to get a job. But he is an felon who is needing to be arrested.
Man
And he
on the run.
somehow got a job.
Well, if they were failing, it was the only one they could get.
He was the only chef in there. That's a little scary.
But then they have the whole restaurant with all the Rangers coming in costume with like the apron on, and Taro comes in with his whole crew.
Yep. Apparently they're not just masked illusions. They really exist. But Inuzaka's cooking is so good, Taro snaps out of his stupor with one sip.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like, did you cook that with sensu beans or something? Meanwhile, we kind of glossed over this, but Yellow's classmates, they're walking along, they're talking friendly. Okay, see you, plagiarist. It's like, that didn't start as a charming nickname.
I kind of feel like she's at that Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, God.
Point in her friendships, like...
Well, they did a few episodes ago, too, where one of them called her plagiarist, and she just...
I know it's partly because of her experience with the alternate Yellow, but I just think, wow, your classmates are jerks.
Oh, yeah, they are. Think about the boyfriend who wanted to get back to... Ex-boyfriend who wanted to get back together with her because he wanted to try to defy mommy.
Yeah.
And then he ditched her when the monster attacked.
Indeed. But I'm looking at the bridge that can form between cultures. The subtle knowledge that no matter where you are in the globe, middle to high school classmates are complete rat bastards.
I could have told you that.
But you could have told me that from a Japanese perspective.
I've read a lot of manga.
Oh, you've read manga?
I am an expert on Japanese culture based on manga. Are you real? Wow.
Well, I finished my water a while ago.
My water's over
You
there.
didn't hear me whining about it.
But
you probably think that all those students over there solved their problems with a Kamehameha or fighting a monster in an alley.
don't.
Or maybe like 5 boys are all hitting on one girl and they're all totally respecting her privacy.
Okay. One, I know that doesn't happen.
Oh, good. You're learning.
All right, so...
In my 27 plus years of life,
27, yes.
I've learned a lot.
You've learned a lot about Japanese culture.
Especially denial.
From the manga.
Denial.
And anime.
And anime, right. You've
I've
learned
learned
to shape reality through your passion.
Exactly. If you can't learn about reality from anime and manga, what can you learn about reality
I feel like you took the Akiba Ranger approach of your delusion gives shape to reality.
See? And nobody said that Akiba Ranger wasn't good.
Wait, nobody said Akiba Ranger wasn't. That's a double negative.
Oh, leave me alone.
No, I'm trying to parse what you just said, which is technically true, but grammatically wrong
Okay,
from an
moving
English
on.
perspective, but you're talking about Japanese.
Yes, I'm speaking...
I think you're turning Japanese. I think you're turning Japanese.
That's actually a really racist song.
It probably is, but it's all
But
I
it's
got.
from the 80s, so...
We were racist as hell then, too.
Exactly.
Okay.
But...
Wait, when did we stop being racist?
We're working on that.
Maybe in 100 years.
We are not racist, but...
We're just controversial.
Alright, so Monster comes up, which is Gogol 5, who is Kiji's boss.
And it's not Go
Yeah,
5.
Gogol 5.
Well,
It's Goggle 5.
No, Gogol 5.
It's Goggle, right?
wait.
That's Goggle.
No, it's not.
the protection theme Sentai that became Lightspeed Rescue. What are they called?
That's Go 5.
So there's Go 5?
Go 5 and Go 5.
So, okay.
I gotta go get some more water, because I...
So, when you hear the word, when you hear the spelling Goggle, how is that pronounced?
Go.
Go.
Goggle.
Go.
I thought it was Goggle.
Well, it kind of sounds like Goggle. It almost sounds like I can't say that because we'll get sued from the guys who own YouTube now.
Oh. But...
It took a minute. Whom I used to look up Japanese family values and got porn. I really can't stress that enough. Wow, I've embarrassed her.
Okay, students who might be watching this episode,
I was looking for family values, damn it.
do not ask your parents for parental features. I think I need to put that on my internet here just to protect these boys.
Alright, anyway. So then we get through that episode. Kiji gets rehired. And then we got the clip show episode that had the coolest opening where they're watching Kamen Rider Revice. And Kaito's like, alright, since Revice is ending, we might as well end our show too.
Well, I like how he apparently knows it's a show. Because the way he's talking about it, he's aware it's a show. Everybody else is kind of like, it was very fourth wall breaking this episode. But
Very.
they decided...
Especially when we had Sonoza, whatever.
Which one?
The girl. Go like...
Sonona.
like, alright, so since none of you actually know Inu's backstory, I'll give it.
And boy, the shipping there is pretty powerful.
And
she considers him the MVP. I mean, she holds him in high regard.
So, the reason why there is an MVP is because Kaito, obviously stacking the deck, decided that since we're at the end of the show, we should have an MVP being awarded. So we get to see backstory. Well, we get to see clips with some fun dialogue for all of the Rangers, for Jiro and his dual identity, as well as
Kaito.
Kaito as well. Well, Kaito comes after. So...
Well, I like the one, though, when they were talking and when it goes back to the trio in the restaurant, you have Sonoi in the background there, just like, yeah, so I want to talk about Don Momotaro. Okay, now that I've done, bye.
Well, Don Momotaro's replacement.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jiro.
Although, oh yes, this one does not like clip shows. So he was fast forwarding through most of the summaries, and everyone sounded like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I know.
Just like those Kuga clip shows.
Which is why I kind of wish we could watch these series on that fast forward. It'd be a tremendous time saver and funny as hell.
Well, and it was entertaining because when they're talking about Taro, the one really funny thing is they talk about the mech form as well. So then we come back to see everybody, and you have Saru standing up, being the body and being the arms. We have Kijino hovering over, kind of behind him to be the shoulders. We have Haruka kneeling on the ground to be the leg. And we have a Pupper's stuffed animal clipped to Saru's other leg to be Inu brother. So they're all sitting there. And then you look to the left, and that's where you see Sonoi and Sonoza again.
Having treats.
And then Kaito is like, we need to announce the MVP. And this is like, everybody's so excited. And then he cuts off the side of the envelope rather than just breaking the seal.
Which I admit was far more officious. I wonder if they do that at the Oscars.
I don't know.
I would check, but I don't want to watch the Oscars.
So he pulls it out, and it says...
Whoa.
He pulls out the sheet of paper.
Phrasing.
And it says Kaito, and everybody's like, Kaito? So we then get a backstory, because he's like, well, I've been a ranger for longer than all of you. You've been rangers for 6 months. I've been a ranger for a long time. So then we see
a year and 6 months.
A clip show of just him as Zen Kaiser. We don't see any of the other rangers in these clips, just Zen Kaiser. And then when he's transformed in Donbrothers.
But no one remarks on the desaturization he's undergone.
No.
And then, so, the episode then ends.
No.
Well,
presents.
Well, yes, he gives presents of his new picture book, Volume 2.
I don't remember Kaito being this much of a raging narcissist.
No,
Penguins. Penguins.
Penguins.
I really do think.
He's possessed by penguin.
Well, if you think about because the mother episode, the one thing we didn't talk about is the mother wanted Taro to play the piano because her son plays the piano. And he's like, I don't know how to play. And nobody else knew except for Kaito, which I didn't know he knew how to play the piano.
Which he just has a piano in the back of the...
No, he doesn't have a piano in the back. He has a secret chamber in the back.
The biggest room.
He's got like a missile silo down there.
And everybody's commenting, especially Haruka, of like, I didn't know Donbrothers had this.
I mean, that's a common thing for her. He's always surprising her with the stock, but we're entering Batman levels of hidden reserves.
And he has this whole specialty room just for a piano. And he plays a song, and Kaiju and I were
dreading it was going to be the same song from Sailor Moon,
Kabuto,
Agito, Drive, and various Sentai stuff.
I just found it very relaxing.
Well, Chopin's Nocturne. I couldn't remember what Chopin's Nocturne sounded like. So I was like, please don't let it be the same piano.
Music that...
What's the usual song?
It's... I don't know what it's called. It's just... It's this...
Well, play it. Hum it or something.
I can't do that.
I'm trying to think of how to hum the tune. Like, doo-doo. I'm gonna mess up. Anyways, moving on.
I don't know what it's called.
That sounded more like the Inspector Gadget thing.
But anyways, so moving on, we then end our clip show with Sonoi and Sonoza complaining about the fact that the series is not over.
But then promising what turns out to be the most epic episode of this batch.
Oh my god, that was so amazing. That's like the most epic episode since that one Kira Major one with the
What's the most epic episode, just for anybody who may not have watched it? What is the next episode?
27. We just said that.
It's the duel between Sonoi and
Kaito. Or
Momotaro.
So this is kind of interesting. So we start the episode where they're on a vacation where apparently Kaito cannot go, but he's still responsible for creating drinks for Taro through a little hole in the universe.
I said we should have had that during 2020. We all would have been the better for it.
So Taro goes into the water, and then you see Sonoi, and I said it multiple times when watching the episode, his outfit, especially his feathers, should never get wet because they do not dry well. Never do feathers like that dry well.
But goddamn, was that scene awesome?
So they're talking in the water.
Underwater.
This is the song. It's like in every Toei Toku series.
Fast playing piano. I wonder if I'll get more porn if I look that up.
I didn't mean to snort.
But that just makes it so much better.
You'll get porn on piano keys.
Okay, no.
Okay, but yes, so that scene was awesome when they're underwater, and then we have Momotaro comes up and Sonoi's on the already outside of the pool at the other end. That was really well done shot.
So they have 3 days before this battle takes place. So Taro just continues doing what he's doing because, as he says, I have a painful shrink, so that's why he doesn't train. Sonoi trains untransformed
non-stop
against Sonona and Sonoza.
Well, it was also pretty cool to have a training scene of the villain instead of the hero.
Except they're not really villains.
They're villains.
They're a rival faction, but are not maliciously seeking people out. But they are dealing with resource. Now, I have to correct Cruellica on one thing. Because it's kind of important for this episode and the next one. We started this episode with them engaging in a fight.
Yes.
This is called the box story.
Okay.
It is, you start at the ending and then you work backwards to...
Yeah, all the episodes
Yeah.
have been doing that.
Well,
This one especially.
the last two were more so.
Same with Pink? Because
Far more so.
Well, let's just... Okay.
But okay, yeah, we'll include Pink. So really, box stories 3 in a row with a clip show.
Well, and Yellow with the manga one
Oh,
2
my
episodes prior.
God,
Now that-
can we just get to
I'm
that
just saying,
point?
it's actually been a common theme these last several
Ooh, a
episodes.
common theme like
Oh
Revise.
my God, can we move forward?
No, we can't move forward.
Okay.
But seeing...
Ow. Ow, ow, ow.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Seeing Sonoy train so hard, and then as he's standing there with the clouds passing overhead, and Taro is late, personally all I'm thinking of is Nope, and someone saying that cloud hasn't moved for 3 hours.
Well, I like also how it would cut back to Haruka, and I'm like, do you think the battle's going on now? Then it goes back to him, like,
And
waiting.
more tumbleweeds, more tumbleweeds.
Yeah, tumbleweeds in the middle of the gravel pit.
And he gets so frustrated, he goes to look for Taro, and Taro is still working. Because one of his coworkers called in sick, and his comment was, well, our fight is a personal matter. This is work. People are expecting these packages. And I'm like, I want these delivery drivers here.
Yeah, why can't
we
they
all-
have that dedication?
We all thought the same thing.
So we get a redux of Sonoy helping to deliver packages.
One
This
of which
time,
is-
not as a competition, but just helping to get things moving along.
So they could have their fight.
Yes.
And then they arrive at the old lady,
The Karen.
yeah, from several months ago, actually. Talking about, and she's all like yelling at Taro, and he just comes and
Sonoy.
Sonoy does one thing that she's probably never had happen since she was a little girl. And
What?
kiss her.
Well, he gets on one knee and kisses her hand. I mean, this is...
That's like sexual harassment right there.
I have so many comments that are not appropriate. Okay, so
Technically.
moving forward
Moving on.
hastily, but so she's totally smitten, and she's having white wine
Don Bayon.
Dom Perignon by herself. I was like, lady, I don't like you, but I feel bad for you at the same time.
So then, after they finish all of their deliveries, they go to the gravel pit
The gravel pit.
and they start to have their fight. Then Jiro comes.
No, they have their they
Start fighting.
Mama Taro runs and stops. Like, wait,
Oh yeah, because
he's just making a suicide attack.
And that ultimate question, how do you go in for the kill against someone who's already prepared to die?
And then all of a sudden, everyone starts showing up.
So first we have Jiro,
Yeah, Jiro shows up.
and then we have the next guy who shows up is the
Murasame.
Murasame, and then we have the one monster guy from a few.
The guy who was the ninja is now Maji Ranger.
And he still wants to fight Taro.
And then all
Which
the beasts.
I actually thought was pretty clever since those shows cross paths, like to have them being the same dude.
Well, I just love that, the continuity is on full display here.
And then
Get all the bestials.
the Rangers show up, and then the Beastos show up, and then Sonona and Sonoza show up, and the camera work in this entire thing is just freaking spectacular. As there's so much going on, where you have Momotaro and Sonoy,
Back to back in the middle of the chaos.
as everything's going around them, and that was well shot.
Now, I have to ask, the first bestial show up was a woman in some sort of officer getup.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that because I expected it to be Miho.
I wondered, was that Miho from her day job? Which I don't know.
No, the bear, is that the cop one? Because he's been going around.
No, the female. So not the cop dude, the woman.
Well, someone's been turning other people into bestial mindsets.
Mine says, but this one transformed in
Yeah.
full.
Transformed
Which made me
into
think it was
bestial.
Miho.
No, it wasn't Miho.
Okay, well then I'm confused. But either which way, yeah.
Me too, ho.
Me too, ho. Oh, great, we've started a new movement. Wait, no.
Me too, ho?
Yeah, that could be misinterpreted.
Okay, shut up.
That could be misinterpreted.
Me too, ho?
And
Okay, you're not allowed to say that.
We're moving hastily on again.
But this episode was freaking awesome. And then we have, finally, our epic battle between Taro and Sonoi that ends with Taro just...
Well, now hang on.
I actually like the conversation they had. It almost gave like a really good backstory on why the Cerebrums are the way they are, why the Dawn Clan, the Dawn Clan,
and who the Bestials are.
Yes.
And then it cuts just before he tells us who Morosume is.
And this is the first time the Donbrothers have encountered the Bestials, so this is uncharted. But I want to way back, Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
The Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan fight.
Oh, yes.
As I recall, you were disappointed by that battle.
Yeah, because...
It was one swing. But here, it is also one calculated swing.
That's fair. That is a very good point.
Well, but the question is, what has changed between the two?
Well, this felt like it was built up better.
Built up better.
I was more invested. Whereas with the other one, everything they were building up between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul was apparently off-screen in another...
Well, it was in the Clone Wars. A lot of stuff happened in the Clone Wars.
Well, see, I didn't see that.
Okay, so part of it is continuity.
Well, the problem I have sometimes with a show is if they rely so heavily on everyone having watched the other property, because Clone Wars was on Cartoon Network, whereas Rebels was on
Disney.
So you're assuming that everyone coming to Rebels has watched on Cartoon Network all of Clone Wars.
Of course, it's because I know all of you. You belong to me now.
And that's the difference, though, is that here it was something that was also built up
within the show itself.
Yes.
Whereas the other one, we're like, okay, that's fair.
You have to rely. It's just like with Revenge of the Sith at the beginning. You have to rely on having seen the other cartoon to even know why Grievous is coughing.
Why is he such a bad fighter? That's what I
compared to how he was before.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. But honestly, I liked the Maul Obi-Wan because the battle was mostly in their minds, and I like the same thing here, where it's more of a mental duel than physical.
Well, and the one thing I liked about it is the tragedy of it, because
They could have been friends.
they could have been friends.
How to come to this, after all we've been through? Two of a pair, now on opposite side. From the very
I'm
start.
trying to think.
But also
Okay. The reason I think this hit me a little bit harder as well is in Yakuza 0, the place I was in today, they actually made a comment to two enemies of each other that really just got to know each other. Nishitani is the one guy.
Okay, and Majima.
And Majima. Nishitani says to Majima, and you don't know context, so that's why
I
I'm trying
don't
to...
even know names, so...
Well, okay, Majima is the main character, Nishitani is...
One of the main characters.
But, really?
No, I'm saying Majima's one of the main characters.
But anyways...
The guy with the eye patch.
Yes, let's make this more complicated.
I know, I'm like, please, stop. I just want to get to the point. Nishitani says to Majima, if we met at a different time and in a different place, we would have been friends instead of enemies. And it kind of made me think, like, watching today, I was like, wow, that really holds true here, too. If something had changed within the universe, they would have been great partners, or in many, many terms, because I'm a Fujoshi and I've been watching way too much yaoi recently, but...
Well, that all goes back, we're at 5 degrees of separation from Star Trek. a Romulan saying to Kirk, "In another time I could have called you friend."
Yep, I remember that.
And then, so, we have Sonoi die, and I loved how,
Masamune.
well, Taro was just walking away from the screen as Masamune came in, picked him up, and started carrying him off, and Taro just didn't even turn around to look.
With the bandage around Taro's arm, Sonoi's iconic blue, very clear and distinct. So you can tell Taro's pretty broken up.
Yes.
But that was such an epic
And I
episode.
actually, so it bleeds into this episode. This episode was
Which episode?
the following.
Episode 28?
Yes.
Well, maybe you should say that.
Oh, go to hell. See, I think some days we really do need to get a divorce.
Cool. Confuse my students even more.
Wait, what?
When I was like, how come your wife said in the video you're going to get a divorce? Are you
Oh
guys
my
getting divorced?
So kids, those websites I mentioned earlier.
I was joking. Okay. Any
Anyway.
students who watch Kaiju Kami's website or reviews, websites, whatever, or Twitters or anything anymore, because I'm old,
Twitters.
we are not getting a divorce. This
What?
is a consistent joke we've had for the last 10 plus years. So.
So that was your best nails on a chalkboard, right? Now, see, here's what you kids really need to know. In Colorado, you can apparently marry yourself.
Oh, stop!
So I
Stop!
plan to marry myself and get all the money in the divorce.
Don't confuse them further. And did students really ask you if we're getting a divorce?
Mo did.
Mo?
Oh,
What about
okay,
Larry and Curly?
honey, I
right.
promise you we're not getting a
Alright,
divorce.
anyway.
Mommy, well, we're
No.
not your pro.
Okay, just end that conversation there. Okay, so episode 28 kicks off with Black and this monster running with a painting, being surrounded by the other Donbrothers, and then we go and learn what happened.
But this one, okay,
This was very light-hearted compared to the last one. Like, it started so light and fluffy.
Yeah, but here's my question: the big overall thing. This girl, I forget her name, but this rich girl who can afford a bullhorn in her purse and a nice parasol that can apparently hold a man hostage. It's probably like bulletproof.
Roberta would want one.
She wants to be a phantom thief. Why
The
was she?
worst.
Why was she not a Lupin Ranger monster?
That is fair. I didn't think about that. Why was she Denjimon?
You mean Dynaman?
Dynaman.
Why was she Dynaman? Because this seems an apt opportunity for her to actually become a phantom thief.
But she's the worst Phantom Thief ever because because I am now an expert in Phantom Thieves after playing Persona 5, so just so you're aware.
I appreciate that.
And watching Lupin the Third.
Well, more so from Persona 5. But anyways.
Lupin's not very much of a phantom.
Exactly, that's why. And please know that my expertise is well documented. You can
Okay.
even ask Event Nebula. But I don't trust you.
I see your fear. I see your fear.
But anyways, so through my expertise, having played this game, not really, so please don't actually call me an expert, but I've seen these Phantom Thieves calling cards, and they do not put their own actual legal name on them.
But not Sonoi. Inuzaka?
No, the girl did.
No, well, yeah, but the puppy
Puppers, Inuzaka.
Inuzaka, he's the one to point this out.
Yes.
Because he is actually a more competent thief than her, simply by the bare minimum
I was
bar.
going to say, anybody can be a more competent thief than her, except for the people who get caught on Facebook.
Well, that's pretty stupid there, too. But Facebook is apparently a great champion for justice because people are so stupid, they tell police where to find them. Inadvertently.
Exactly. But, so, she, oh god, I was trying to pull up her name. But anyways, Kagakuki.
God, Kooky is right.
Yeah, but Kakakuki, basically, she fell in love with this guy, Taneo, who both you and I couldn't find anything on here about it, think that Taneo died unexpectedly as the monster who was destroyed by Kijino.
This was early on. A guy who wanted a drawing subject kidnapped Miho, and Pink was so outraged that he actually allowed the Cerebrans to
destroy him.
Destroy him. We now know he's not technically dead. And I was like, wait, is that the same guy? And I can't prove it.
Well, we can't prove it, but
No, you're talking about the guy who kidnapped Miho?
yes.
No, he wanted to cut her hair. He was he was a stylist.
Oh.
Well, one way or another, is it the same guy?
No.
Well, I was after seeing both the Karen and Taro's lesser rival.
Let's see, what is
I'm wondering who else will reappear.
But it was kind of interesting because this artist dies unexpectedly, and his picture is stolen by his assistant, which I think is a kind of shitty thing to do.
Also makes you wonder though if the guy didn't die in an accident.
Well, there is that too. So, but what gets so ridiculous about this is this painting, which art is in the eye of the beholder, and unfortunately in this particular eye of the beholder, it wasn't the greatest painting I've ever seen, but I am a heathen, so...
Uncultured heathens.
But everybody wanted this picture. So, we have Kakakuki, who wants this because it's a picture of her. We have Kijino and his boss wanting this picture because the president is requesting it. Then we finally have Kaito, who wants this picture and sends Haruka and Saru out to bid.
Okay, maybe he was an artist, but his name is Mashinki.
Oh,
Okay, well, it was a curiosity. It's now dead. My curiosity is dead. Good night, everybody.
But anyway, so we have basically all of the main actors here.
Except for Taro.
Which, I kind of noticed things about him in this episode. But anyways, so we have Inuzaka, like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Once again, going into a public place, having a warrant out for his arrest. We have Kijino, who's like, this is my first time at an auction. I don't know what to do. Which kind of reminds me of the first time you were at an auction.
For the NDK charity auction?
So, and then we have Saru and Haruka on the phone with Kaito trying to figure out how much money he has, which we find out he has Kibi Dongos, which
He's paying Kibi Dongos.
Which is nothing.
But when he says he has deep reserves, I believe it at this point.
I did too.
I would believe if he has an entire painting gallery in another secret room.
But he wants a painting because he thinks it would be the perfect painting to align his wall. And so Kijino in the start is like so nervous because his boss is on the phone with the president and he's like 4.5. Kijino gets so into it and he starts bidding against himself after a little bit.
Until his boss says, "Are you trying to get us fired?"
Again.
So, and then, okay, so we get back to where things led up with her because the painting that was at auction,
Fake.
I accidentally swapped them. Yeah, okay.
It was a fake, paid for with fake money. I mean,
Which I thought was comeuppance for him.
Although, what was it? Everyone's caught aback, and they how did it look to that assistant charlatan? they escaped through a doorway only the monsters and the Donbrothers.
Well, that's what I wondered.
Did they blink out of existence, or did they shimmer into another reality?
Well, I wonder that myself, because it's not like it's the first time, because you could even use the prior episode when they're at the water park. It's like, are you telling me nobody else noticed this little hole in the existence that somebody just magically pulled a drink out of?
Or, well, I remember when Taro was literally giving his coworker a lift to see his mom, he said, "Close your eyes," and that's how they were.
Well, remember when Kiji and Miho were almost hit by that truck, and he teleported the thing with to get the car.
But her eyes were closed, or downcast, or he obscured. Mostly until this point, everyone's had their eyesight covered.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily what's going on here, but this was an interesting one.
The Donbrothers are getting sloppy.
And then we go, so after they run away with the painting, we get into this epic fight outside. And so we have, I still don't know how they have not figured out that Inuzaka is Inu brother.
I thought this episode was going to be the one where they found out.
Well, same here.
It's about time.
And so basically everybody's kind of like doing a tug of war with the picture. Then we have Taro come in, and he comes in kind of
He knows
like
what's going on.
angry. Not like angry at everyone, but just more of like not fully.
He's not laughing.
Yes.
He's still bummed about the duel.
Because he knew what the result was going to be, which I think is kind of part of the mythos of Momotaros.
Well, the funny thing is, he was so before the duel. Was like, look, either I win or he wins. One of us dies. That's just the way it is. It's not just the way it is for him now.
Well, I think the one thing I think that's happening for him is he's becoming more human as the series goes on.
Oh, I did love back in the episode Kiji getting fired when he went to the dude in the prison to try to get his help to get paid as a Don brother.
Well, he tried to ask everybody, and I like how Kaito's like, I'm sorry, superheroism is like volunteership. I was like, no!
But anyway, so...
Well, I'm sure Go-Go 5 got paid, but not Go-Goal 5. Yeah, because that's not confusing.
No shit, that's why I just call him Goggle.
Goggle.
Goggle. Goggle 5.
Go-Go 5.
Well, technically Go-Go 5, they were part for the government.
So, they got paid the bare minimum.
They were kind of working for the government, so...
Anyway. Well, so was Lightspeed Rescue.
And All Ranger.
You ever think they got a paycheck?
All Ranger, Jetman.
How do you claim that on your taxes? Okay, the bandages I used to repair a wound from a monster fight came out of my own pocket. I'd like to claim that as a deductible on my superhero form.
I don't think
All
they
right,
get insurance.
so we've got Big Monster. We have new mech combo when they combine and have a really cool looking horse.
Yeah, Grid Horse. Grid Horse, baby danda.
The CGI still looks so much better than Zenkaiger.
It was actually really well done. That fight was also really well
Except
done.
for when Inu Brother ran out a door. I heard you...
Yeah, that was... that part, yeah, but I mean the mech battle itself.
But there was this grunt of disgust. I could hear the venom in his voice.
Like, oh.
But, okay, one thing we haven't talked about with all these episodes is that it's been a very heavy Jin's mech.
Yes.
He's had the most fights, mech battles in this set. And...
Jiro, not Jin.
Jiro. Okay, but Jiro... It really is emphasizing how much he needs both halves of himself. There's the sociable one, but then there's also the tiger who's
we've
saying...
got good Jiro and evil Jiro.
Well, which one's which?
Actually, if I had to make a decision, I would say Tola is probably the good Jiro because he's not naive.
Well, he's the one saying, This is a bit like Revice, drawing strength from your shadow or integrating.
Like Kagero.
He's the one saying, look, you're never going to surpass Toa or Taro if you keep idolizing him.
Well, yeah. Because there's only a level, there's only so far you can go if you already put in your mind that the person is automatically better than you.
So, I think this episode's really fleshed out the dynamic between Jaro?
Both Jiro?
Jiro's two halves. And, then the combiner form. I did wonder how much longer we could have them talking as the dragon chases and encages the tiger. They have the same transformation, but it's always a new conversation.
Which I enjoy.
But I did like, so when they combine and Kichi's like, yep, still an elbow or still a shoulder.
And and Yellow is like, I want to be an arm this time. Nope.
You're still a foot with now a sandal.
With sandals. And you attack with your ass. That finisher.
No, I think it was more of a Yellow doing the ass attack.
No,
too.
so did Saru.
No, I know, but Saru usually does that, has been doing that throughout the series.
It was so weird, though, to have, like, this ass flying at you on the screen. I'm like, okay. It's a little too much for me today.
It's the power of the butte. The butte is overpowering. But she doesn't have enough junk in the trunk to be a true weapon of war.
She's also like...
Moving on.
But I did like the fight, especially when they're like flipping around the buildings. Actually, the horse made me think of Garo.
I did think of Garo as well.
I thought a great man.
But overall, I thought these 5 episodes were really fun. And I enjoyed it. Yes, I would have liked to have not watched all 5 episodes at one time.
What's this?
Wait a minute!
Oh no, I have been binging a lot. Like, I watched 5 episodes of a lot of stuff today, so I enjoyed binging. But
you're coming down on me for being a little tired watching 5 episodes in a row.
I'm not tired. I'm just saying because there was so much going on, it would have been nice to digest a digest a little bit more.
Alright.
You tried to squish my head between my shoulders.
All I've got to end this with, because
poor baby.
I'm hungry. We need to go get some dinner. Episode 27 was freaking epic and best episode of the series thus far.
Which one of us is the abuser in this scenario? I don't know.
Thank you.
So what did you guys think of these episodes? Let us know in the comments. Click like, subscribe, the bell notification, anything else YouTube adds on for you to click on this. Ow! That's not fully healed yet, remember? Ow.
Okay. So be sure to check them out at creativitybydesignllc.com, where you can see all the videos, buy their stuff, and, links to anything you might need. And you can find me, MLP Silver Quill, on Twitter, DeviantArt, and the YouTube. If you do a search for After the Fact, you'll get a news program. But After the Fact Silver Quill, you'll find my reviews. And I would very much appreciate you checking them out. We'd also appreciate if you bought their stuff to apparently pay for the medical bills that are steadily mounting up between these two.
And yeah, you can follow us at Kaiju no Kami on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, if I ever remember to go back. Facebook, Patreon.
It's really not a great endorsement. Check out my Discord if I ever bother to check it. I mean, you're kind of cutting yourself off there.
I've been busy. You've been busy. And every time I'm like, I should go on Discord. Then next thing I know, 3 weeks have passed. Oh yeah, I should go on Discord. Then another 2 months have passed. Oh, I should go on Discord. And then I went on Discord one day and nobody was on there.
I just noticed that we name dropped one of your students, and now other students are gonna, if they watch these, they're gonna expect
It's okay. Anyway,
we'll beep it out.
No, I won't.
I was
you know how far I'd have to find that clip?
Oh my God! You'd have to put forth effort.
I know.
Look, you can listen to it on fast forward, so we all sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like
well, I already sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Well, okay, she'll be so high pitched only dogs can hear, but
yeah, no,
you
whatever.
can do that. Oh my God! God.
All right, until next time. Bye.
So lazy.